Hello students of class 7 standard. Today we'll discuss the energy that chapter what we have already started already few parts I have told. So now the next part of this chapter is the roller coaster. Okay. So here while you will talk about the roller coaster here, this is actually one type of thing where you will get the conversion of energy, that means kinetic energy to potential energy and the potential energy to the kinetic energy also. Okay, so how this type of thing is happening while you are just rolling something, or if it will go to the uphills and it will go to the downhills, then how this type of conversion of kinetic and potential energy takes place, that I will discuss today. Anything, suppose if you have this type of surface, okay, like this type of surface you are having, through which suppose any particular object or any moving particle moving body is just going. Suppose the roller coaster you are just talking about, this is actually the ground. Okay, this is the ground portion, and in this way it is going, okay, through this path. Now first of all, so initially it is at the rest position. This is actually the body which is about to move through the positions. Now I am telling you few examples, few positions. I am telling you one by one. This is one position. Now this is another position here. Next position is this one here. Okay, and here another position you have just taken. So few things I am just giving you A, B, C, D. In this way I am just telling you the positions here. So now if you see this all positions, so first of all you consider this is the ground portion. Okay, so you just deal with the heights here. Initially when the body is at the rest position, then definitely all the energy is equal to potential only, because no motion is there. So only we are getting the potential energy in the initial position. Now if you talk about the B position, now in this position definitely this body is moving for upward direction. So what will happen when the body will move in the upward direction, then if the body will acquire the speed, kinetic energy must be there, but you just see whether the kinetic energy is more or the potential energy is more. Because if you talk about the height from the ground, from this position h amount of height is there, so definitely if you talk about only the potential energies here in this position, C position here, if you talk about this position here, and if you talk about this position here, so wherever you will get the maximum amount of height, whenever the height will increase, the potential energy will also increase, because potential energy is equal to m into g into h only. It depends on what? It depends on the height factor. So whenever height will increase, when it will go to the top portion, suppose in this portion when it will come, then height will be maximum, so maximum amount of potential energy will be there. Okay, so now when it will come down in the downhills, if you talk about, then height will definitely in decrease, then kinetic energy will just increase there. So in this particular case you will get, well, you can easily understand that where the kinetic energy will be more. When it will come to the ground portion, suppose in this way if you talk about, where when it will go to the downhills, then definitely the velocity or the speed of the body will increase there. So definitely what will happen, half m square, this amount of energy will increase here. If you talk about the to this position here in the top portion, then definitely at the top portion kinetic energy will not be there. If there, minimum amount of energy will be there, but the potential energy due to the height of that one will be very much high here. So this is actually the position here, this is the actually the thing in case of roller coaster is happening. So question what will come from in the exam, that you have to tell first of all that write any two devices or any two things where the kinetic energy and potential energy interconversion is taken place. So first example is this one, roller coaster. You can understand that potential energy is converted to the kinetic form, again kinetic energy is converted to the potential form. In this way interconversion takes place. Second example if you talk about, that is the simple pendulum. Okay, we have already told that one, and again I will tell you that one afterward. Simple pendulum is also one type of device where we are supposed to get the potential and kinetic energy interconversions easily. Here also sometimes potential energy increases, kinetic energy decreases at that time. When the kinetic energy increases, potential energy will also decrease that time. So these are the two types of devices from where in your syllabus it is present. So in these two cases you will get the interconversion of kinetic and potential energy. Next part of this chapter, that is most probably the last chapter of this last part of this chapter, that is the production of hydroelectricity, or hydroelectricity you can also tell that one. So suppose if you talk about the hydroelectricity, then hydro means we all know that that is water, okay, and electricity means electricity, current will generate here. So if you get any type of device or any type of actually the process through which the water or the hydro can be converted to the electricity, or you can able to get the electric power from there, then definitely that type of device will be known as the hydroelectric device. So here what will happen in this case, first of all what we will do there, first of all three things we will do. First of all, that water will be stored in a particular dam, okay, so water is present and that can be stored in a dam here. This water will be stored here. Now what we will do, with the help of some devices or through some pipes with very high velocity, this water will flow and it will come down in the downward direction. So when the water is present here in a particular place in a dam, suppose if you talk about here, then what type of energy question will be asked to you is present here. We have to say in a single word that potential energy is only present here, because this water is in a particular place, no movement is there, so definitely all the energy is only the potential energy in a form. Now what is happening in this particular case, now when the water is just flowing through the pipes, it is coming with a very high speed, okay, so definitely we are getting what type of energy from the water, we are getting the kinetic energy from the water, because this water in a position, in a rest position, so potential energy is there. When it is moving with a very fast velocity, very high velocity, then kinetic energy will just acquired by the water. Now when this water will come in a particular place, and suppose any type of generator or any type of turbines, any type of turbine is there, that means one type of device which can rotate with a very high speed, then what will happen, due to this position, when the water will flow and water will drop here in this position, and when the turbine will rotate with a very high velocity, then you are supposed to get what type of thing, you are supposed to get the electric power or electricity from here, the current will be generated in this particular position. Now thing is that if you see the whole process in this particular case, then you can see first of all we have stored the water in a place, in a dam, so definitely the potential energy is there, okay. Now when the water is coming with a very high speed, then this potential energy is converted to what, if this potential energy is converted to the kinetic energy, and when this kinetic energy is now is coming to in this portion, turbine rotates with a very high speed, then this kinetic energy is just converted to the electric energy. So what is the whole process, if you see here in this case, first of all potential energy changes its form to the kinetic energy, then it is changes its form to the electric energy or electricity, you can simply tell that one. So this is the whole process in case of hydroelectricity, okay. So now in this case, if you see that the conversion or the law of conservation of energy, if you talk about, then is it conserved here, or the whole process is violated the conservation rule? Definitely that it is not violated here. If you see the amount of energy present here in this position in the form of potential is now being converted to the kinetic form, same amount of energy we are getting here. From here the same amount of energy we are also getting in this case in the electricity, in the form of electricity, okay. So in these whole cases we are not just violated the conservation rule, we are just actually following the whole process in following the rule of that one, conservation rule. So in this case, no energy, no nothing is violated here. So this is the most probably the last part of your chapter. Now the exercise question answer will start here. So before that, before we will start the question answer, few things I am telling you. This question is repeatedly asked in the exam, that in case of the simple pendulum, that how the total thing, that conservation of kinetic to potential takes place, that I will try to just explain again, because this is very important question. And not only your class, in class 7 standard, in higher classes also this question is repeatedly asked in the exam. Okay, that if you talk about the simple pendulum, okay, in case of the simple pendulum, main thing you have to notice that interconversion of potential and kinetic will take place. That means one time potential will be changed to kinetic, and one time kinetic will also be changed to the potential form. So first of all, you draw the simple pendulum. One thread is there, one bob is there having mass m amount. Okay, now what will happen if you just give the oscillation to the simple pendulum? So one time it will go in this direction, and again it will come back here, and again then it will go to this direction. Okay, this is the whole process. We know that this is the angle. Okay, now here what is happening, if you see, this is the ground here, or this portion is the ground here. So definitely from the ground, the height acquires by that simple pendulum in this position, A position, B position, C position. At A and B position, some height, certain height is there from the ground. So if height will increase, then definitely what type of energy we will get, that is mgh amount, which is actually the potential energy will increase in A and B position. When height will just lesser, height will be lesser, then definitely what type of energy will come, the kinetic energy will come here. So this is actually the example in these two regions. In the extreme points, when it will come to the rest position, then potential energy will be higher here, more here. When it will come to this position, then kinetic energy will be here, and when it will go to the again extreme point, then potential energy will again be there. So this is the whole process. So it can be explained in this way. Okay, in the next video I will try to explain the question answer of your this chapter, energy. Thank you.